understanding what we have, you know. So, this revolution is being taped.
But you know, I look at,
The whole evening's been taped, I think.
but I look at, you drive up the river now in a boat, you
Yeah.
go around, especially up in the wider part of the river, and look at the new houses that have been put up
I saw one
on the
down
edge
here.
of the water.
Yeah.
Down here.
They're not little.
Big house.
But I mean, they are huge.
They're a bit.
I mean, they're all like $2 million plus probably houses when you go up. You know,
Yeah.
just go right on up the river
I've
here.
Yeah, we saw one down the road here,
Right.
across the way.
I've paddled up the river and seen that stuff, but they're kind of grotesque, some of them. I
Well,
mean, really?
But it's
like-
amazing. But it's
What are you
amazing
putting
how
there?
many new ones. You know, in the last 10 years or so that have been put up there. I mean, there's a lot of them down there. They're just ones as big and nice as the next one. You know. And I wonder what you do with all that room in a house.
Well, yeah. I wonder that every time I go by, and all the money these people have
It's
to do
usually
that.
just two people.
I know, that's what I was
Well, yeah,
thinking
that's
too.
like, you know,
That's ridiculous.
I could live in one half of the house I'm in and be comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, really
Your
easy.
house is not big.
That's
It's
the
just the right size.
And
It's
this
like,
is only about a little over 2,000 square feet. What is your house? About 12, 1,300, 1,300? Yeah. And that's all. You don't need a house any bigger than that, do you?
right.
Oh, I could use a bigger one.
But the store stuff.
Like stretching those walls out.
How about your house? What do you got?
It's probably about the same,
About
12,
the same
1,300
size,
feet.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I got extra room
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't need all that room.
I don't really. Yeah, I mean,
He
Are you
has
a
more,
collector? Do you
he has
collect
more
a lot of
closet
stuff?
space than I do.
yeah.
You have better closet.
Oh, yeah, I
Better
guess.
closet.
But they get more mold in them. That's the only part.
He's probably got a bunch of those PRS guitar stashes.
Oh,
It's
They're all
got
in one room.
everywhere.
I do have like a little guitar south area room.
Do you
so
really?
Guitar museum.
The middle room is just a little exercise room or whatever. But sometimes I go through there, I'm like, I don't really need all this, but it's
But
my
I mean,
house.
what I'm saying is,
Yeah.
it's more than enough room.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
But
Like,
it's
what do these
your-
people do in a house that's got 5, 6, 7, 8?
Yeah, it's like
8,000
and
square
that's
feet.
how big
There's a
they
friend
are.
of mine who has a house, maybe had a house a little bit bigger than this, maybe like a regular rancher on the water near Arundel in the Bay, near
Right.
the Thomas Lighthouse.
Right.
And the Hurricane Isabel flooded his whole. He was on one story and basically had a bunch of water in his house. So he had to tear the house down,
Oh.
but he still built on that house. He had the second level put up,
Right.
and as soon as he got it built, I'm like, man, this is too much house, man. You know, I didn't say it to him because he was proud of having
What
this
do you
big
do with the
house
lower
built.
level? Did he close that off or something?
Yeah, he made that like concrete
Right.
basement storage or whatever. But he only has 2 kids, and I'm thinking,
This
we know this room. It's too much. But yeah, what's what he wanted.
Yeah, we had 10 inches of water downstairs. Isabel. But I made out in the way because I did all the work myself in repairing it.
Who do you have for insurance?
Huh?
Who's your insurance carrier?
Well, actually, State Farm, but it's a special insurance plan.
Is it like flood insurance?
It's a federal thing.
Huh.
FEMA.
Okay.
FEMA.
Okay.
FEMA.
Gotcha.
FEMA. Yeah, federal, what the
Emergency management.
whatever it is. I just paid the bill the other day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right. And it's like $2,700
It's not bad
Years.
A
actually.
quarter? Oh, that's for a year?
for the year.
Oh, that's cheap.
flood insurance.
Considering where you are, that's pretty
But
good.
it actually, they said,
It's not
they got to
great.
be, they're totally screwed up. The first bill I got was for $3,700.
Yeah.
And then I haven't paid it yet, of course it wasn't due yet. And then I get another bill for $2,900. 37 to 29.
Mm-hmm.
Same, you know.
Same coverage.
So I called the State Farm, had them check on it. Which one? What am I supposed to pay? Hopefully the smaller one.
Yeah, right.
They called me back and said, pay the smaller one.
That's good.
$2,700. That's not counting. Got nothing to do with your taxes either. That's just
Yeah.
flood insurance. It's
Yeah.
got nothing to do with the
We
regular
had
house
one really
insurance.
bad rainstorm. I think it was back this past June or July, and that was the highest I've ever seen the water so far.
Right.
And I put some bricks up in my front yard around, right in front of the house, maybe about 4 feet out, where it's
It's
like
so
edging.
flat.
And they were up to the bricks. I was like,
Hey, you
that's
get
the
a little
highest I've seen it.
concerned.
Yeah. But I mean, I still got that much crawl space
Uh-huh.
still, but I was,
Right.
it's like I was watching all these cars just riding through this like river out from my
Yeah.
house. I was like,
It's kind of
amazing.
scary.
You
Yeah.
start wondering if you're gonna be trapped in.
Well, Brian can tell you about the night it flooded here. He was down there trying to sleep.
Oh, boy.
He comes up carrying his covers upstairs. He's just getting all wet down there.
Oh, man.
We'd already made some provisions. You know, we moved the music box, put it up on. Brian set the music box up on the sofa down there. So
But yeah, all of a sudden the stuff was floating on the floor. Huh?
Yeah, it was
Oh my
Pretty
God.
bad.
That's awful.
That's the first and only time, though. What you got? About 8 inches in there?
Maybe more than that.
10 inches.
and it's just,
I was sleeping in the front, that bedroom up there, and we had checked the tide when it was supposed to be high, which is about midnight.
about midnight.
And it was about 6 or 8 inches below the level of the deck, so we thought, it had been up that high before, we
Yeah.
thought, oh, good, we dodged the bullet again. And the power was already off, and I was sleeping in that room, and I started like kind of having dreams. You know how sometimes the reality, like sounds and stuff kind of filter into your dreams? I was dreaming about like being in a boat and hearing water lapping around me and stuff, and I was like, all of a sudden it dawned on me, like the light bulb went off, and I
That
was like,
could
wait a
be
minute,
water.
wait a
Clear
minute.
water.
Lapping water sounds are not good at this point. And I
Man.
opened my eyes. I'm sure enough there was like water rolling across the floor, and I was like,
Wow.
Yeah, I was up.
Jeez, am I dreaming?
Yeah, I was upstairs there when he came up.
Did it go through the whole basement, whole
Oh
downstairs?
yeah,
The whole-
Yeah.
everything. But
10 inches of water usually is pretty flat across.
Season's
Yeah,
on
but
level.
your ground goes up a little bit like that, doesn't it? Or,
Well, the
your
floor doesn't
basement
know.
wouldn't, that'd
Well,
be,
it's flat.
okay.
Yeah, but yeah, it's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
wake
you know,
up.
I did just about all the work myself,
Uh-huh.
and you know, I had to replace molding and stuff like
Save
that.
$10,000.
I put $10,000 in the bank.
Yeah.
They paid $16,000, but you know, you could not have repaired that with
No.
a contractor for $16,000.
No,
Oh,
because
no
you would have had
way.
to replace all the paneling
Well,
and
they
the
had-
floor.
Yeah, they had me replacing the paneling.
The
and
parquet
the
floor.
paneling that's there is genuine
Oh
paneling.
yeah, it's
pecan,
like almost half inch thick.
pecan and walnut, and that's actually
Oh,
a
okay. It's not the
face-
pictures,
It's
you know.
not printed stuff.
No,
Yeah,
it's the real thing.
It's real walnuts and real pecan. You don't buy that stuff
No, they
for
don't make
$20
it
or $30 a sheet.
And you'd have to have done all the new insulation.
Yeah.
And I tore paneling down and checked behind it. But the fact that you all came over, and between us, you and me, we got all that water up, and we did a
Soaked
good
it up,
job, because when they
had the
pulled that
fans
carpet up downstairs, it was dry underneath.
You know, the water really was only there for what? 10 hours, maybe 8 hours, and then it was dry again.
But,
It
but
was
you
here
guys,
and gone.
yeah, you guys had a lot to do with it.
I mean, so you just had to
Sucking
quickly
up that
dry
water.
everything up, you know, and. But you can look, if you look hard, you can see.
You can see a
right?
little
Oh, you
water.
can see a little water line on the top of the paneling. But I pulled a lot of the paneling up, checked behind to make sure it was dry, and we never did get any
And it
mold
cleaned
or-
it up and oiled it or whatever, and it looks, you know, it looks pretty
We
good.
have this lady has an antique store down in Graysonville, right off of 50, and where all that water flooded over 50.
Oh, boy.
I mean, like right over
Yeah.
50. And I went to her
Hey,
shop a
stop.
few days after the flooding, and she had this counter in the front, and it was from an old grocery store where they used to have the bins in the front, or the drawers with the glass windows
Uh-huh.
for seeds, like beans and stuff like
Right,
that,
right.
and they'd all
Oh,
be
yeah.
like a
You
file
can
cabinet.
see it, yeah.
Yeah, and she said she had that thing for years and years, and she never put anything in, actually put anything in the drawers.
Uh-huh.
And she decided she was going to fill the drawers up with beans and all this stuff, and she no sooner did it when this flood
Oh,
happened.
no.
And the water came all the way up
Oh,
to the
no.
top of the counter.
And all the beans are
And all the
swelled up?
beans were sprouting.
Oh,
It was a
man.
mess.
I've been soaking my beans there. Gee whiz. That's bad. As soon as you do something like that. That's what-
It was a mess.
Well, the bees are doing okay. We went and looked at the bees. We bees, we have
okay.
bees now, and they're all kind of grouped up in the middle of the hive, and So Sandy's gonna make some fondant and put on this big board to stick in there for over the winter so they can lick on it, you know, something sweet.
What-
that they
what-
can-
Fondant is like a sugar.
something called fondant,
It's like
it's
a
like really
sur-
thick
sugar
icing, that
cake.
you
Oh,
might put on a
really?
cake.
Oh, okay.
And we had a big feeder we had to give them because we were looking in there towards the end of summer and there was no honey. They had eaten it all. I mean, they had made some and we saw honey in there. And then we come back in a couple of weeks and it's gone, you know, so they were eating it, they used it
Couple
to eat too.
months, yeah.
And so, we had to start feeding them. Sandy went out and bought two 25-pound bags of Domino sugar, and we went through those in about 2 weeks. I couldn't believe it.
Unbelievable how
She
much
made
they
a
drink.
half a gallon of sugar water gone in one day.
Really?
One day.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Did
I
they
mean,
make
those-
honey
And
from
it was double sugar to
Yeah,
water. It
it's
was
2
that
sugars
thick.
to 1 water.
Holy
It is almost like
cow.
Simple syrup.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
about
but it's-
50,000
yeah, but it was the
bees,
heavy
I
syrup,
didn't
or
think
not
that.
just
It'd
like
eat
one
that-
and one.
eat that
Yeah,
much.
little
One
tiny
day.
bees.
One day.
Wow.
Holy cow.
Well, they take it and then
It's
they put
amazing.
it in the comb, you know, and then it's nectar, and then they keep doing something to it. I don't know what they do, and then it turns into honey, and then they cap it off. So they have some pretty thick ones in there now.
They were real hungry when we started
Yeah,
feeding them.
and she had to
We
go out
didn't
and
know.
get another 2 25-pound bags of Domino sugar.
Oh,
So we went to 100. Not quite. We still have a 25
I had
pound.
honeybees in my backyard this year too. I
Huh.
hadn't seen them in a long time. I finally saw like
Well, that's
a
a good
bunch of them
sign.
hanging around
Good
in
sign.
mint plants and stuff.
But man, I
Right.
couldn't believe it. A gallon in one day gone.
Wow.
One hive. Just one hive.
Wonder how many bees are in there.
About 50,000.
I
When we
think
bought it, it was a
50,000.
40,000.
I don't know.
You can buy 3-pound blocks or 5-pound blocks. I think the 5-pound blocks are 75,000 bees, and the 3-pound blocks are like 40,000, 50,000
I forget
bees.
how many's what, but
You say a block.
It actually comes in a box. Yeah, it's like a brick. Yeah, it comes in a box, and then they have the
It's a
queen
net,
in
you know,
a separate
it's a
little
little cage.
cage.
Oh,
And
okay.
they usually put a couple little worker bee made
Did
beads
you
in
put
it.
her in the bag?
Yeah, when you finally you dump, you actually take this box, and you dump it into the hive, and then you have the queen in her little box, and the box has a hole at the end, and they cover the hole at the end. It's about as big as your little, around as your little finger. They cover the hole at the end with marshmallow, or something like marshmallow, and then the bees go and they eat that marshmallow away, and then the queen comes out, and then she can be in the nest with them and all.
she can't be in the nest right away because she
Yeah.
doesn't know them and they
Yeah,
don't know her.
her.
They, they'll raise a queen over here in one area and then they have the bees in another area. When they put them together, those bees don't know each other.
Yeah, they have to get
They
to
would
know.
kill
But
each
sometimes
other.
they don't like the queen.
So,
They don't
takes
kick
a
the
while
queen
for them
out.
to
I mean, get
get
out of
used
here.
to
We
each
want a
other.
new queen.
That's amazing.
But they
isn't it?
accepted her,
It
so it was
really
okay.
is.
Yeah, there's so much to know.
But you can get bees through the mail. I don't think that post office likes
Funny,
that
I
much.
never
You know what's in there?
Yeah.
But we went to a beekeeper and got it. He gets every year, he gets a truckload of them, and they come in these boxes, and they're all kind of tacked together with wood strips, to keep them all so you can lift it up with a forklift, And he had what, maybe 100.
Yeah, he had like a chainsaw. He was separating them.
Yeah, he was, just to cut the little wood that could collect them all. Yeah, it's a neat little
He had his whole
box
garage
made
full
out
of
of
them. It was
box
cool.
made out of a screen like
Wood
on the window, like a
screen.
window screen. Nice little box, and then a little teeny queen box, a middle screen.
I was behind a tractor trailer load of bees one time on the Beltway.
How could they have them open like that?
Well, they weren't open, but it's still there were some had gotten loose and they were like buzzing like around the truck as it was driving down the road. It was
Oh,
like
no.
that's pretty weird. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean because the
Yeah.
queens are in there, and
Yeah,
all
yeah.
their buddies are in there.
Yeah, but it was a tractor trailer load of bees. It was
Sure,
like
that's
they were
pretty
in
wild.
boxes,
Uh,
And there was like bees hovering all around it.
How could they fly that fast?
One time when we had bees back here, one of the queens took off, but she was up in the tree, and
yeah.
the swarm was all around her.
You can see it. What do they call that?
But I had to
Cascading?
go up and get her.
Oh, you did?
I went there on a ladder. And
Oh, Lois
I had
had-
all the gear on. I said, you know what I equated it to? Scuba diving.
Oh yeah, 'cause
It was so similar because, for some reason,
Yeah, you gotta
I
get
equated
suited
it to
up,
scuba
but-
diving. You're going to suit it up, and the
Yeah.
bees were all around.
Yeah, I tease Sandy. Looks like she's ready for an
It was
Ebola
kinda-
patient
kinda
or something.
scary.
She got all- yeah.
Hazmat suit.
Did you
Yeah.
get him? You got him in a box?
Yeah, I
What'd
got
you do?
him. I got him back.
Hey, what happened to the back of your ear? You didn't fight with Mike Tyson
No,
or something?
I've been to the dermatologist.
Oh, okay.
Oop, I just took a scab off. This one's probably ready to
Yeah.
come off
So
too.
leave that one alone.
But,
I thought maybe you and Mike
but,
Tyson go a couple rounds.
I haven't heard from him whether I got any cancer there or not, basal cell. not concerned. If I do, they'll just cut part of the ear off, that's all.
And then
You
you
hear
tell them
what
what
she's
you were
done.
and fight
She's
with
done
my
it before. One time I went in there, she started cutting on this, I think it was this here, and she's cutting, and she takes a hunk out of it, stitches it back
Ah.
together, and in a couple of days it looked just like new.
Okay. Well,
That's
that's
good
weird.
now.
All he did then was
It
just
got all
scrape
the-
some off the top there.
Got all the bad stuff out.
Well, I don't know, they just took a biopsy
Oh,
this time.
okay. When was this? Was this?
Well,
I'll get sent you
No
later.
big deal.
so no scent forks for you then for Christmas
I was
necessarily.
just messing around in the greenhouse.
Oh,
Oh, that was from leaning on the roof cleaning up.
oh, okay.
Maybe I can give you all my old Bill Cosby records.
That's right.
No,
Oh, God.
Bill
poor
Cosby.
Oh, Bill.
That
You
is
have
a
it, you
sad
have it recorded
ordeal.
on the one where he's talking about some
Crazy Mary.
Yeah.
I guess that's
Yeah,
a
that's-
classic now, right?
Yeah, that's.
How many women have to come forward before you
Before we believe them, you know.
Not Bill
It's
Cosby.
just, I know, I mean, it's shocking.
I mean,
It's-
people have strange vents, and I guess he just had that strange thing going, like some
It's like
people,
Father knows best.
you know, like young girls or old girls, or
Right, well,
he
I
liked them
figured-
drugged, I guess.
I picture at the time, that he was not the only one doing this,
Right,
you know?
yeah.
And these drugs or whatever they were using
Yeah.
is just were kind of big at that time.
Yeah.
And they were giving them
Oh.
to girls.
Man. But I don't know. I mean, but you
Come
want
on.
someone unresponsive and
I don't.
I don't think it was
that's how he
crazy.
likes them, huh?
You listen to that little crazy Mary thing, and you're like thinking, so that
That's
was
fun?
ever
That's
funny?
fun?
I don't think that was ever funny.
No.
Yeah, no, that's not funny.
What is it, like 15 women now or something like that?
It's
More than
more
that,
than that.
40 or
Holy
something.
cow.
I heard.
Oh
yeah.
my God.
It's amazing. They're all coming forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ones
Well,
that have
you
been
know-
following the details.
Well, some of them might just be wanting to jump.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
like,
so.
You don't, yeah, right,
The
nobody-
I Spy, he was doing a lot of that during the I Spy thing with Robert Cullen.
Right,
you know?
right.
I remember watching that.
Yeah.
That was a good show. I love that show.
That was a good show.
What do we gotta go?
Okay.
We should go.
And we left turkey in there. We left
You
all
all
the
did a great
turkey.
job today. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very
That's
much.
all I can tell you.
Oh, me.
Eat some turkey or freeze some.
Yeah.
Eat some, take it with you. You are
No,
leaving here.
just a little bit. Yeah.
Just a little bit of it.
Oh, I left you plenty.
Yeah, we have some. Yes.
We made one.
We don't want to throw it out.
Oh, man, it was delicious.
Okay, good night. Say good night to Zach. He's filming. Good night, Zach. Thanks for taking pictures of us to celebrate the 2014 Thanksgiving.
Good night.
Whole
Good
lot
night.
of turkey.
Take some of the turkey.
No, we're making another turkey on Saturday. So